Well, welcome back to our 5th year-end review of movies. I'm Harry. This is Vince. It's kind of exciting stuff. 5th anniversary, am I right? Yeah?
It's exciting that you're going to Australia, so I can impart on you one final end-of-year movie review as your going-away gift, and never be forced to do this again.
I don't know. I might still see 10 movies next year. There's a chance. Okay. So, getting that out of the way. First, Vince, before we start, I thought given it being the 5-year anniversary, let's look back at some highlights from the previous 4 years.
Hello. Welcome to A Very Hairy Productions. I'm Reginald, and this is Vincezio, and we like movies.
Well, mostly him. And we're dorks. Well, mostly him.
Yeah, you're a
because
dork
he's
too.
making me do this video. I should note that I'm here proving that I don't care what people think and that I'm a loyal friend.
And because you wanted to do it. You wanted
We gotta start.
to do it. Yeah, let's start.
I think it's a really fun movie.
Also, is that season 1 of The Office?
Yeah,
That's mine.
Yeah, it's season 2's right there.
Yeah, they're both mine.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
I was gonna give those
You never
back to
gave
you.
those back to me.
I'm a big fan of pirates, at least some of them. The first movie, I think, is an awesome movie. The second one, this is more controversial, I think is a better movie. The first two are awesome films. I love. Ow!
Real quick, let me just say something about that little look back at the 5 years.
Oh, okay, sure, go ahead.
I think that was an especially honoring tribute because, we didn't have anyone watching during that time, and there will be no one watching this. So nobody saw those. Nobody will see this. And it's like, it's right back to the heart of the beginning.
I'm looking out to
Because,
you.
when we first started these videos, nobody cared. Rightfully so. I'm glad. And now that we're still on the 5th one, still nobody cares. And we've come full circle, and I think it's beautiful. Because nobody really should care about this.
Wow, that was incredibly
Touching?
no, negative of you. Alright, so after discussion, we have decided that we will put our honorable mentions at the end of the list. So first we will do our top 10, and then do a couple that didn't quite make the list.
And again, for me, I saw 11, so I have one honorable mention.
Yeah,
it was a good movie.
I have a couple more than he does. So we'll do 10 through 6, and then 5 through 2, and then we'll each reveal our number one.
Okay. So I do my 10 through 6.
Yeah,
and you
go for it.
Alright, my number 10 movie of 2018 is I Can Only Imagine. You know what? Actually, a solidly done Christian movie, which is hard to come by. Actually really powerful and actually really well acted. I mean, they had, what's his name? Dennis Quaid. Yep. And did a really good job, actually. Convincing performance. I thought a great message, uplifting movie, and it was actually done well, which is, I think, really awesome because you don't see that much. So I would actually really recommend seeing I Can Only Imagine. It was, it's not the best movie you'll ever see. There's still some cheesy dialogue and, like, some, kind of those feel-good moments. Honestly, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I agree.
And I think it was inspiring to see that it was done as well as it was. So, Can Only Imagine is number 10. Number 9 is Tag. I thought it was a fun comedy. It was not nearly as fun as it could have been. Like when I heard the premise, I loved it. I thought it could be hysterical.
I'd completely
a game of
agree
tag
with you
that
on
had been
that.
going on for 50 years. Like they could have done more with it. It really could have been better.
Yeah.
But you still had an A-list cast. You had John Hamm and Jeremy Renner and Ed Helms, and it was really fun. Isla Fisher. It was a fun movie, but it just could have been a lot more than it was. It's still enjoyable. And there's definitely some, I'm not going to give it a full endorsement, there's some definite iffy content in there, so I don't want
Fun
that
fact,
to be
the
known.
only film I think I've ever fallen asleep to in the theater.
Yeah, well, it was a good movie. Anyway, but again, I'm not putting out a full endorsement or anything like that, I don't want any angry parents or anything writing me. Number 8, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Pretty much what we've come to expect from Marvel movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fun, fast-paced. Paul Rudd is hilarious, as always. Some people I understand, understandably so. Some people are kind of sick of the whole Marvel thing and whatever. But let's just say, you know what? Like, some people hate fun. They're fun movies. Just because everyone loves them and watches them doesn't mean they're bad. It's a good movie. It was fine. There's nothing to write home about, but it's pretty good. Number 7, Black Clansmen. I didn't realize till after that this was Denzel Washington's son, but I thought he did an awesome job.
He was great.
And honestly, it was like a hard content, but like really entertaining and actually kind of lighthearted and funny in a lot of the moments. So he was great, and so was Adam Driver.
Yeah,
and
really great
great movie, really good script. I do not like the last 2 minutes. There's a political statement made there that I do not necessarily agree with, but the actual movie I love. It's those last 2 minutes where they just start showing current event clips and stuff. Is that, or it gets a little, I'm not sure. A little
controversial. But.
Yeah, and I don't really agree with that stuff. So take those 2 minutes aside, maybe some of it. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not making a political statement. What I'm saying is, besides those last 2 minutes, the actual movie was very good. And then my number 6 is... what's my number 6? Okay, no, wait a minute. You'll probably have to cut this out, but let me think about this for... Oh! Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet is my number 6. It's colorful. It's fun. It was very clever. Had kind of an Inside Out feel to me. A lot of those kind of moments in Inside Out where you think, man, that's so clever what they've created this little world inside the mind with the emotions. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with the internet. You get that kind of feel like that was really clever what they did with those different things. And so, it's not nearly as good or as impactful as Inside Out, but really funny, really fun, just a great watch. I really enjoyed Ralph Breaks the Internet. Fun for the whole family.
Indeed, very much so. All right, so now moving on to my 10 through 6. At number 10... This might shock you a little bit, Vince. Number 10 is actually Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, seems low.
Here's the thing. It's a great movie. I appreciate the magnitude of the film. Getting all the characters together after that long a time, it's crazy, and it's well done. But for me, there is a little bit of Marvel fatigue at this point, I'm not going to lie. And
guess that's
I
fair.
think the second half is going to...
Make it better?
It could make it better.
Hopefully.
I don't know. The end, it was a cool cliffhanger, but, spoiler alert, half those people are dead.
I still think it's too low, but...
I don't know. That lost some of the impact for me, and also, personally, there wasn't enough Captain America. Great movie, though, but it's still in my top 10, so...
You and your little fanboy over Captain America.
And this is going to get kind of controversial, I think. Number 9 is actually Aquaman.
So you saw 29 movies... Number 9 is Aquaman. I saw 11 movies, and the only one that didn't make the cut was Aquaman.
Look,
I thought it was fun and awesome.
I totally get that Aquaman is an absurd film. It's over the top. It's preposterous. When Jason Momoa is going there, slow motion,
hair flip on hair flip on hair flip, which
ridiculous.
Is actually pretty awesome and fun.
I had a blast watching it. I honestly, I kind of wanted to go see it again.
Okay, I had a good time watching it too. I'll say this: it is cool. Those undersea worlds and all the action, it was fun.
Also, all the above ground stuff, like the chase scenes when they were in Italy, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, but I mostly just loved those shots of the cities underwater.
For sure.
And their armor. All their armor was cool.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was a fun movie, no doubt.
I had a blast
it was a very fun movie.
At the movies, and that's what I wanted.
Well, good for you.
Coming in at number 8. More superheroes. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I wish I had seen that one. I heard good things.
I'm all about Peter Porker. At first, he was so
I really want to see Peter Porker.
I wanted more of him, though. Yeah. There could have been more
I can't
Peter
wait
Porker.
to see Peter
Porker.
But
no, it was a really, really clever, really fun movie. Very original. It's one of those movies that I really had no plan on seeing originally, but everyone was just raving about how great it was. Went and saw it. I didn't love it as much as some people did originally, but it was one of those movies that kind of grows on you the more you think about it, and now I wanted to get it again. I want to see it again, and I probably will end up buying it. So, number 8, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 7 would be Green Book.
I wish I'd seen that.
Really great movie.
That's the reverse driving Miss Daisy.
The reverse driving Miss Daisy, or Aragorn drives Mahershala Ali. Okay. It was so cool seeing Viggo Mortensen in a role. I haven't seen him in a new movie in years. He was amazing. Mahershala Ali was amazing.
He was a movie?
Yeah, whatever. I think I said this to you. It kind of gave me the same feeling as The Help. It was important subject matter, and it handled it seriously, but it was also really funny throughout. And really heartwarming. Really, really great movie. Number 6, more superheroes. Black Panther.
Okay. Too low, but yep.
This was, I think, the best live action, I'll say that, superhero movie of the year. And I think because, I said I have some Marvel fatigue lately, this one felt super different.
Oh, it's different.
It felt
it's
very
different.
by itself. It felt very African and just cool. Some of the best action, I think, in Marvel movies. Some of the best characters in Marvel movies. Yeah. I had a really fantastic time and was very surprised with Black Panther.
Yep. All right. Okay, so for me, number 5, Mary Poppins Returns. It, again, kind of like Tag. Well, okay, I don't want to compare Mary Poppins Returns to Tag. Never mind.
Yes, family, take your kids to see Tag, just like you saw Mary Poppins.
It isn't quite...
Don't do that.
Well, it isn't quite what it could be, and it certainly doesn't live up to its predecessor. Mm-hmm. But at moments, you actually feel that same magic. There were moments where I was swept away into the world of Mary Poppins, and it was darn magical and whimsical. Delightful was the word that I said after watching it.
I agree, and just to say one thing about that, I agree with all that. It is delightful. For me, though, and there were moments of magic, especially after rewatching the original last night. It didn't quite hit home.
Remember, it's not a remake, it's a sequel.
No.
So it's not as if it's replacing the original.
I'm not wanting it to replace, I just was hoping for a bit more emotional depth in certain parts. Some parts did. And also the songs. That was my biggest problem. It didn't have any memorable songs.
I still think that the one inside the cup thing is pretty memorable. And I also think that the really sweet one about the mother stuff is really memorable. That
made me tear up. That was
actually,
my favorite
you know what? You're just wrong.
No.
This is a great movie. It's honestly a fantastic movie.
It's
it's honestly fantastic. And the only reason it's number 5 is because the other 4 are so good. It is a great movie. And it's whimsical, it's fun. Emily Blunt, perfect casting choice for Mary Poppins. Mm-hmm. Lin-Manuel Miranda kills it. I don't really know the actors' names, but the ones who play Michael and Jane as grown-ups, also awesome. Kids, great. All-around fantastic casting. I think, in terms of a story, I really liked that it went in a different direction than the original one, but it was so true to the spirit of the original one. Yeah, it would by no means ruin it on any by any direction that they took the characters, anything like that. That it was so true to the spirit of it. Still had great whimsy. The only thing I think it could have made it better was some better numbers and a bit more kind of whimsical.
It was like the opposite of Greatest Showman for me. The story was there, the songs are lacking.
And the acting and the script, I thought it was really good. And seeing Dick Van Dyke in there again, it almost brought me to tears. Actually, it did bring me a little bit to tears. Yeah. And I just think it was a great movie. Okay. Mary Poppins Return, full endorsement. Number 4, Black Panther. One that you had, I think, just slightly too low. Black Panther is one of the greatest superhero movies in the last many years. It's just cool. It's really cool. Yeah, it's really fun. Great soundtrack. Awesome villain. Super kind of inspiring story. And,
I didn't mention that during my thing. The story, I thought, was
awesome. Big cultural impact. Mm-hmm. And Black Panther is just one of the coolest superheroes to watch. And Wakanda's awesome.
And one of the best villains, too.
That's what I mean. It had a great, very sympathetic, kind of understandable villain. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 3 would be Avengers Infinity War. So just above Black Panther. I think you had it too low. I think
a lot of people
I've been saying for a long time that I will judge the Marvel Universe based on these 2 movies, Infinity War and the sequel, in a large way because it all built up to this. And I think that this first part wasn't... sure, I guess it could have been better, but almost about as good as it could have been. I have no real complaints. I thought it was super fun. I thought that they managed it only as Marvel can, really, bringing that many characters together and still feeling, and still, it's like the anti-Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, they're bringing all this here, terrible. At Marvel, they've got about 4 times the amount. They bring it in, it's done really well, super fun action, everybody's seen it, really excited for the next one. Great movie. Again, it's just a straight popcorn flick. But then there's also some emotion there, especially if you've been watching it since the beginning. My favorite character is Iron Man. Goes through emotional stuff. Twists at every turn. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Sets up perfectly for the next one. Thought a great movie.
Okay.
Number 2 was Incredibles 2. Number 2 is Incredibles 2.
Good stuff.
It is honestly just a half step behind Incredibles 1. I think it might be even funnier. It's not as good as Incredibles 1, not as good of a movie.
Definitely.
I think it might be even funnier. Like,
It's
it
pretty
was
funny.
hilarious. It was, honestly, I couldn't imagine a sequel being made 12 years later and being still the same caliber as the first one, with how good The Incredibles was. The Incredibles 2 does not disappoint. Hilarious, great story. A point in it actually was kind of creepy almost, like a little scary. Like, there's a lot of tension, which I did not expect out of that, but it had me feeling things. I laughed. I didn't cry, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, actually, so moving on, my number 5 is actually Incredibles 2.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Great movie. I think the first one is about as perfect as an animated movie can get. I love it to death. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies. And this one was great. It wasn't quite as good as the first, but it was a lot of fun. And as you said, I think it might be a little funnier than the first one. It's hilarious.
It's really funny.
Good action. It was great to see those characters back again. And yeah, overall, a really solid film.
Yep.
So that's my number 5. Number 4, never in my life would I have
Never
thought
have I ever been as lame
a
as
documentary would be in my top 5 movies of the year. But Won't You Be My Neighbor did that.
Did You Be My Neighbor, Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Shit, just stop. Look, if
Did you want you Be My Neighbor?
If you don't know, I mean, you guys know about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but if you don't know about this guy's life, and
I really
how
want to see that movie.
amazing of a man he was, how godly of a man he was, it's incredible what he did with this show. Like, he was an activist. This guy was an activist who did stuff through his show, and which you really don't think about unless you're kind of thinking about it. So anyway, I was super touched by this film. I loved watching it. I want to see it again. I want to buy it.
I really want to see that one. Yeah.
It was one of the great pleasant surprises of 2018. Another pleasant surprise of 2018, moving into my number 3, Paddington 2.
I saw the first Paddington on a plane, and I enjoyed it.
I never...
Or wait, no, I did see it. I saw Paddington 2. I've seen 12 movies. It doesn't make my list, but I saw that on the plane coming back from Italy.
I was just so charmed by this movie. It is
Italy.
the perfect family film. It is funny and clever. It's very
liked it.
witty, British humor. The characters are wonderful. I like the first one a lot. I think the second one is way better, and that's not a mark on the first one. It's great, but this one is just so funny, so clever, and heartfelt. I saw it twice in theaters.
Oh my gosh!
I've seen it again
was like
since
a fine
then.
movie. It was okay.
It's the best kind of family movie, and I just loved it to death.
Oh, good for you.
Okay. Moving on to number 2. Another pleasant surprise. Some of these top ones were movies I was not expecting last year. Number 2, A Quiet Place. I absolutely love this movie. It is the signs of 2018. It's intense. It has some of the best intense thrilleriness in movies that I've seen lately. Really super emotional. It's really a family drama at the root of all things. John Krasinski, well done directing and acting.
That transitions well to my number 1.
I teared up.
Yeah.
There's a certain part in this film that I teared up, and at that point, I just knew I loved this movie, and that's why it's my number 2.
It is my number 1 movie of the year. Is A Quiet Place. As you said, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt killed it. Absolutely crushed it. Really suspenseful. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time. It's billed as a horror movie. Don't let that. It is not a horror movie. It's a suspense movie. I don't like horror movies.
It's super intense.
It's very
intense,
intense,
get us wrong.
and it's very suspenseful. It's not a horror movie. It's really, really good, though. It's just, I mean, everybody's seen it at this point, but if you haven't, go see it. Incredible filmmaking, really good acting.
Yeah,
it
should be shot. Besides John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, biggest, badass.
Yeah,
amazing
Emily
character.
Blunt might be the champ of the year between that performance and Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Which she both absolutely crushed. She would be my actress.
And they're polar opposite roles.
Actress of the year. If she doesn't win, she probably won't because the Academy's stupid. But she should win an Oscar for one of those 2 roles. I don't even care which one, but they're both. She did incredible jobs in both of them.
And the kids were great.
I would give her an Oscar for both in the same year. And yeah, the kids were great too in that movie. And it really has the best representation of a family on screen we've seen in a long time.
It's amazing.
And a father and self-sacrificing love. We've seen in a long time. Great movie. Quiet Place is a must-see. It's awesome.
All right. So that is his number 1. My number 1. Bam! Mission Impossible Fallout. Just got it today. Felt like doing it the old-fashioned way. I love this movie to death. It is the best Mission Impossible
I have
movie
heard people
in the
praise
series.
it over and over
It
again, but I
might
did
be
not see it.
my favorite action adventure movie of all time. It is so exciting from beginning to end. Tom Cruise is an action star like no other. I saw
my
it
gosh. Okay,
3
stop
times
it.
in theaters.
Stop it. Okay, I've heard very
love
good
this
things about
movie
this
to
movie.
death.
It could be
Stop
good.
moving the camera.
Stop with this Tom Cruise as an action star like none other. In
No
that, he gets a
other
lot of praise and
action-
he kind of sucks, sure.
No other action star has climbed the highest building in the world.
I don't care
has
what feats he's done in real life.
held onto a plane that took off and spent 1.5 years learning how to fly a helicopter.
Okay, that's great. That doesn't mean that he's really awesome on screen.
I said, first of all, he is really awesome on screen. Second of all, I think he is an action star like no other because of
Oh,
those
okay,
reasons.
okay. Well, that's a fair point, I guess.
So,
All right, that's a fair point.
that's my favorite movie of the year. I absolutely loved it to death. Before we go, couple honorable mentions, or I guess one for him. What was your honorable mention?
Yeah, I liked Paddington 2. The only other movies I saw were Paddington 2 and Aquaman, and I liked Aquaman.
Yeah, I loved Aquaman.
Very fun. Good movie. Cool.
All right. So that was for him. Ones that didn't quite make the list. Mary Poppins, I enjoyed, as I said, because
You should have liked it more.
If
Crusty
it
old
had
man.
amazing songs, I would have loved it.
Crusty old man.
But a musical has to for a musical to be amazing. Certain
Delightful.
songs have to sweep me away. Then none did except one, honestly, and there were a lot of them. So that was pretty good. What else was out there? Deadpool 2, I think, is absolutely hysterical. I personally like it a lot better than the first one. So that was up there. Black Klansman, really great movie. We talked about that earlier, obviously. And Annihilation, a really unique, awesome sci-fi thriller. Another one of the few non-sequel films I saw this year. Natalie Portman, really good. And I think the most important movie that I've seen all year, didn't quite make the top 10. I wanted to get in there, but I just couldn't quite, is Gosnell, which is the trial of the biggest serial killer.
Oh, okay.
Which is about an abortion doctor back in the early 2000s who was basically killing kids who came out of the womb alive. And it wasn't an amazing movie, but it was a good movie, and it was a super impactful movie, and I appreciated what it did. The acting was great. My acting buddy Dean Cain was in there, and
Your
yeah,
acting buddy?
yeah, I acted in a scene with him.
Oh,
I
yeah?
told you that story, didn't I?
No.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a story for another time. Yeah.
Maybe you did and I didn't listen, but...
That's probably what happened because you don't listen to me a lot. So yeah, no, that didn't quite make the top 10, but it was definitely an honorable mention. And just have to say really quickly, worst movie of the year. Didn't quite see enough movies to have a top 10 worst movies of the year, but Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
I heard terrible
sucks.
things. I heard terrible
hated that
things.
movie.
I was wise enough to stay away.
It looked. I gave it a chance because I like Jurassic Park, but man, I have never. Very few times when I left the theater.
I'll tell you,
that upset and angry.
I heard that was terrible. There are a few that I still might see that I want to see. I want to see this Bumblebee thing getting all this hype. I think I'm going to see that this week. I want to see the Spider-Man and the
I
Spider-Verse.
kind of want to see Vice.
I want to see the Grinch, okay? I don't care that
Yeah.
you're a Scrooge and a Grinch yourself and you don't care about it. I want to see the Grinch.
And it had Chris Pratt. He's one of my favorite actors. How does a Chris Pratt movie get to be my least favorite
Speaking of
movie
which,
the
Lego
year?
Movie 2, pretty excited.
That should be good. Unfortunately, we could do a top 10 most anticipated list.
We
Nah.
could.
I don't know. It might happen.
Doesn't
It
mean
might
we
not
will.
happen. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're still watching,
He signs off. I didn't
get
have
out of here. It's been a great 5 years.
Anything to say.
Yeah, I know.
I was trying to be funny.
So, yeah, those are them. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.